Okay, public, all that stuff. Wait, no, not yet.
See, this is why I don't.
There we go. That should be working.
Master of the house.
I think we're here.
Hello.
Hi, Internet.
Hello, friends.
Sorry, we are late, but due for technical difficulties.
I already did.
Hello.
There we are. We are live. We are here to do some stuff that Kate's going to talk about.
Again. We are doing our talk forward again. Not the whole thing. We just did the intro. So instead of having a loud yelling match at the end of every episode, we will give ourselves a week and have a calm, thoughtful conversation before the episode. We're calling it a talk forward.
But who the hell are we?
We are the Knights of the Drug Watch.
Never mind, y'all.
I'm Audie.
I'm Travis.
I'm Thomas.
I'm Kate.
I'm Boone.
I'm Andrew.
I'm Mark. Oh, and Viserion is back there. PCM.
Go.
We are the Knights of the Drunk Watch.
And now our talk begins.
And I believe certain people have nuggets / things to talk about.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, so
I'm still having trouble getting it up on my computer so I can monitor chat. So it's going to make it, here we go,
Okay.
live stream.
So, I
You can
mean,
also
if
monitor
we
chat
started...
since you have stuff to talk about, and I don't.
Anybody got the name of the first episode?
Heirs of the Dragon.
The Heirs of the Dragon.
They are waiting until the
Split
very
nails.
last
Roll down the
second,
middle.
or apparently even after the episode is aired, to reveal the title of the episode. But, so I say, if we start at the very beginning, we were slightly disappointed that there were no main titles to speak of. They had a big, we're showing the Targaryen sigil, but they didn't even show the title of the show. They didn't even show the House of the Dragon.
I have a question though. Like, honestly, is anything gonna be like not slightly disappointing? Like, at this point, like, what else are they gonna do? They already have the Game of Thrones theme, which they play at the end of the episode. It's not Game of Thrones, so they can't just do that again.
Well,
So I
but
Faith in Ramin
but
Djawadi.
the Game of Thrones
No,
is
I'm
a
saying
constant.
they can't just do, like, the same title sequence.
Yeah,
with
they
all
can't
the
do
different-
that.
I
Title
wasn't saying to
sequence.
do the same title sequence, but just no title sequence at all.
Well,
Yeah.
no,
We've
There
only
was
seen
a
one
little bit.
episode.
There was
though.
the beat drop for the Targaryen theme.
yeah,
Oftentimes, when we're watching a show, the full title card doesn't come until the second
But
episode.
it may be because they knew that everyone was expecting it, that we'll get it this episode.
Yeah.
Like, they just went straight into it.
Yeah.
You know?
We could make it. We'll Jello shot if it comes.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
we'll see. So I would say opening thoughts in general of seeing this episode. It was certainly a lot of exposition. They gave us a little prologue, and it was a lot of introducing characters, and you can tell the way the script was written. They're like, oh, Rhaenyra. There you are, Rhaenyra. Thank you for coming to me, Rhaenyra. How is your friend Alicent? Oh, yes, I'm fine. Yes, I am the queen. My name is... it was a lot of repeating everyone's names, which it does feel a little bit boring, but it is also necessary in a story like this, too.
Yeah.
Like, hello, sister. How are you? Hi, cousin.
I-
Oh, father.
Name
How
a
are you?
connection, please.
I am your brother, as you know.
Yeah.
Anyone? Well, we'll go to the next
Okay.
people who have notes.
So speaking of all those people, so I took notes and I made lists of people we should probably get to know better.
Okay.
So first of all, the heirs of the dragon. So they first introduced us to Jaehaerys Targaryen, which was the old king who was going to die, and he had named his heir. The big deal was that he skipped over.
Well, there was a whole council.
Well, yes, there were a whole council. I'm just dealing with the names. I'm not telling the story.
Okay.
So he skipped over his oldest heir, who was female, Rhaenys. She was actually the oldest in line for the throne. And he skipped over her to pick Viserys Targaryen, who was his oldest male descendant.
Okay.
Go.
Okay, sorry. I'm gonna get technical because I am the lore person. I'm supposed to be the lore person.
Sorry, before you begin the lore, hi Ryder. He says the VMAs are on tonight.
Okay.
We're gonna be watching Game of
That's
Thrones and House of the
fantastic.
Dragon, unfortunately. unfortunately, but good to know.
MTV is dead.
Okay.
Why don't you still have
Well, I would say, okay, so one of the things about the Great Council of 101, because Jaehaerys ruled for 50 years, he had 13 children. Not all of them survived, but a lot of them had children of their own. So him convening the Great Council of 101 AC, as it's called, is kind of the equivalent of bringing in the Supreme Court to make the decision about the succession. So they made the decision that they went with the male heir over the female, because in old Valyria,
I'm shocked.
because in old Valyria, it was the tradition that your eldest heir took over for you. They became the next lord or the king or queen despite their gender. But it is in Westeros that only the male heir can succeed you.
A proxy to the
So,
European
and
history.
the thing is with the council at Harrenhal, anybody could have been named heir, not just a Targaryen.
Mm-hmm.
And then they kind of just went with the Targaryens.
Okay.
Okay, so Rhaenys Targaryen, who's also, I don't know then, but definitely now, is Rhaenys Targaryen Velaryon. Because her husband is
Right.
the sea snake.
The sea
I'll
snake.
get to the small council
That was
later.
Lord Kylos.
So Viserys becomes king. We skip forward. He's been king for a while. His wife Aemma Arryn. We know the name Arryn, the
Yes.
Lord of the Vale. So she's the daughter of the Lord of the Vale. And his daughter Rhaenyra. It just sounds so. I can't. I'm trying to spell
We're
it wrong.
doing our best.
Rhaenyra Targaryen, who eventually in this episode was named heir over Daemon, who is Viserys' younger brother. So we have the Targaryens are Rhaenys, Viserys, Rhaenyra, and Daemon
Right.
Targaryen.
We have a lot of Team Damon fans in the comments.
Oh yeah.
Apparently, everybody loves Damon.
I have
even
a
though he's-
thing when I'm done with
I
this.
love Matt.
One of my
Isn't he
topics
the
is
asshole?
how I
Yeah, but
picture-
everybody loves Matt Smith.
but how I
so-
picture
The
Daemon.
ball chopper.
Oh, yeah.
No, he didn't chop it.
Plus, we almost got Pecker in the first episode, so everybody's really
Okay,
digging
Yeah, they were
it.
very careful about that. I'm sure it's not on contract.
Edward Furlong?
Are we gonna? Can we? I'm sorry. You have your whole list.
I have a lot to talk about. If you want to interject, go ahead.
Well. I thought we were going to talk about the episode.
Well,
We
just
are.
covered
I don't
the
know. I
characters
mean,
Welcome
the
tonight to the Drunk Watch Sober Talking, where we
I mean,
try
I
to organize
said what I was
ourselves.
going to talk about, and no
Only
one else
what
had anything else to
technically
say.
Well,
so.
well,
Let's just
well,
go
I'm
back
just
and
gonna talk
forth.
about the
Let's
episode.
talk about the people that are actually in, and then we'll talk
So,
about the episode.
and then Rhaenyra's dragon is Syrax, the yellow dragon.
Syrax, okay.
And then Daemon Targaryen is the younger brother, who's a badass. I kind of see him as like he's a combination of Theon Greyjoy, but he's not a bitch because he's a Ramsay Bolton, and
He's
I see
scarred.
him as the Cersei Lannister of the show. He's
Okay.
the Cersei Lannister of the show.
Okay.
He's
Anyway,
scarred.
he's Viserys' younger brother. He was the commander of the Night Watch for the episode. His
Yeah.
dragon is Caraxes. His sword is Dark Sister.
He's had a list of unsuccessful jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's been just about every job on the small
They're
council.
like, maybe he'll do this. Oh no, he's bad at it because he's an asshole. Maybe he can do this. Oh no, he's bad at that too because he's an asshole. Like, oh
and
god.
then to kind
They
of
said
go
he's
back and
quick to
forth
anger,
between
he's
your
violent.
notes, he really wants apparently to be Hand of the King, and he does not get along with Otto Hightower.
Correct.
So, you want to talk about the Hightowers?
Sure. Well, the small council is my next
okay.
list. Lord Otto Hightower is the Hand of the King.
Also, Rhys Ivans, who we love.
He is not the head of the house, though.
Okay.
His older brother is Hobart.
Okay.
So he's
I missed that.
he's the younger brother
Okay.
of the head of Hightower. And his daughter is Alicent, who is the lady in waiting, I guess.
Can I
Yeah.
Or
say?
companion to Rhaenyra.
Can I say? Is Otto Hightower the little finger so far? Is that agreed?
Well, so far he seems like a good hand. Like, he seems like a good hand of the king. Like,
He served the previous king
he
as well.
almost
Yeah.
sent his daughter to sleep.
I don't know that
He
we've.
did.
I don't know. I don't
He
know
didn't
that we've
almost
seen
do it.
any. I don't know that we've seen
Yeah,
anyone
it's
to
like somewhere.
really come up to the level of a series
yeah.
or Littlefinger.
Call
Yeah,
it-
I don't think
call
we
it a
have
feeling.
these. At least we don't have a good sense.
We haven't
of
been
who is
introduced
the
to
big
the
bad
manipulators
villains.
yet. At
Yeah,
least if we have, they haven't been doing a lot of manipulation.
I'm hoping that what's her name? His sister, the queen that never was.
Right.
Rhaenyra.
Rhaenyra. She's gonna be the little finger. That's what I'm hoping.
Watch
for.
Matt Smith be the pussycat.
She's gonna be.
Okay.
Like
Rhaenys is the queen that never was.
Yeah.
Rhaenyra is his daughter. See,
heir.
it's confusing.
It is.
Okay.
We have Grandmaster
like they name
Mellos.
each other
We're
after
introduced to the
everybody.
Grandmaster, Naester. Lord Lyman Beesbury. He, I assume, from the show is Master of Coin because he was talking about the money a lot. I did look some stuff up. I'm trying to get it all from the show, so I'm very careful with looking stuff up. Lord Lionel Strong we were introduced to. He didn't say very much, except I saw his name in the subtitles. He is maybe the Master of Laws.
Okay.
And spoiler alert, he might be the Master of Whispers.
Okay.
So he might be our little figure.
Okay.
Or Viserys, because that's what I got looking shit up. So, Lord Corlys Valerion, Rhaenys' husband.
The sea snake. You said
Yeah, the
is
sea
what he's
snake.
called.
So I'm assuming he's master of ships.
Okay.
He was not on the list that I looked at. And then Sir Harold Westerling is the commander of the Kingsguard.
Okay.
And
let's
so
go.
while
Yeah.
we're talking about the small council, my one nugget was what's with the balls?
Yeah,
That's our big question this year.
We
What's
don't
the
know.
balls in the.
I mean,
And have
the whole
little-
show is about it. A male heir. No, you know.
No, but
They'll
like
get
the
rid
little,
of the balls
like,
eventually.
The talking balls, I guess, maybe, or like the
They're like-
attendance balls.
yeah, they're
how they
attendance.
check in. They check in by
Well,
putting
but
the
I
balls,
don't think
their
they
time
don't
cards.
put the balls in.
They do, they
Servant
don't-
does.
Yeah, they're little.
No,
they're
someone
little
came in
lackeys
and would
do.
drop
He's
it off
right.
as they were
Oh.
sitting down.
The king didn't
So
put his own ball.
I
in
think
there.
it has something to
That's
do. They may do some. Maybe they haven't demonstrated what they do with them, but it's definitely they come in and sit down and they get their ball.
So we're gonna be eyes on the balls for the whole season.
I was gonna say it's
Teach
ball
their
in a
own.
cup.
You want to put your balls
You know.
All
in.
right, so let's go to a little bit of the episode.
Someone's gonna throw their ball.
Okay.
At another
Since we've
ball,
got, like,
you
the
know what I'm
major
saying?
players.
Yeah, and I have all the rest, which other names,
Yeah,
but they may
okay.
come up.
All right, so the episode itself, what I think what I was most excited to see is that King's Landing is in its heyday. King's Landing is in its glory. So, brief bit of backstory is that the city of King's Landing was never planned out. I mean, Aegon the Conqueror, he chose this hill over like a fishing village, and he said, "This is where my fort's going to be." It eventually became the Red Keep, and then people flocked there and just started putting up all their houses and cottages and villages like all around it. It was never planned out.
Well,
So
that's so many old towns.
yeah. Well, but so in the previous reign before Viserys was King Jaehaerys, who ruled for 50 years. He actually was like, okay, we need order here. He cleared out a bunch of areas. He built a sewer system under the city. He actually paved the streets and finished all the walls around the city. He actually created the city. So it's, and the Red Keep itself is less than a century old. So right now,
Now, like
yes,
in House of Dragons.
yes. At this point, the Red Keep itself is less than a century old, and all of these paved streets are brand new.
Well, and that makes sense that council was at Heron Hall because yeah.
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 So, I mean, so getting to see everything now, it's all brand new. And what I loved seeing was actually dragons flying over the streets. And all the people, the peasants, they're just going about their day. They're not even fazed by a dragon flying overhead.
Just to add to that really quickly, I think it's really cool to be watching this, especially with the conversation they had at the very end. I'm not skipping, but it's really cool to see how much control they have of these dragons, and I'm really looking forward to them showing us and exploring the relationship between rider and dragon that we got a little hint of in Game of Thrones, but I feel like we're gonna experience that relationship between dragon and dragon.
Yeah,
rider
because
a lot
in
more.
Game of
think the
Thrones,
House
we
of the
only saw
Dragon's gonna have a lot of
Daenerys
dragon
and
in it.
her dragons, but no one else interacted with them. But now we saw Rhaenyra flew in. It's like a horse stable. We saw the dragon pit in all its glory, at least from the outside, and she flies down and she gets off of her dragon. Then you had, like, I don't know what you call these other people. They're
Yeah,
like,
like Wranglers, like
yeah, the
squires,
Wranglers.
just
They're like,
squire-
hi, Cyrax. All right, come into the stable now.
Call them Dragon Wranglers.
They work at the Draconic Stables.
Wranglers.
Yeah.
And people who were complaining that we did not see more dragons, well, they were all inside. We did not see inside the dragon.
It's like when you go to the zoo and you go at the wrong time, so you don't get to see the tiger.
Yeah.
Sorry, really quickly. Welcome back, Logan LeBlanc. Great to see you again.
Hi.
We will be here for live reactions after the episode airs. So in about an hour and 20 minutes from here.
Yeah, the show is only an hour tonight.
And so I think it's fair to say that first episode checked a lot of boxes for what we expected. There were dragons. There was a couple of houses. There was the familial intrigue. King's Landing is new, but still not perfect. Like I said, there was plotting. There was violence. There was sex.
We had a tourney, which is a great way to start any Game of Thrones series.
We'll go into more of that. So
we have about 5 minutes.
Five minutes. Okay, so I have
checked a lot of boxes.
I have one. All right. The new throne. Do we love it or do we hate it?
We love it. I love it. I love the throne. I love that the guy keeps getting cut on it like every
Which
time.
is
I kind of love that it is what it was originally supposed to be, and that tells us that like kings have been like, can we get rid of just like
it's
a
too
couple
much.
of the
felt like I
swords?
cut myself.
Well, hold on. This is a bigger part because I only read the original books, not this backstory lore, which I thought it was at the time, but apparently I need to brush up. But the current king, Andrew, his name, please?
Viserys.
Excuse me. He has a wound on his back, which he dismissed as from sitting on the throne that's getting worse. Yeah. Again, I just see plotting against him. The fact that his son, the heir for a day, was here and gone, like, I didn't trust that at all. I feel like there are dark forces plotting against him.
He sits on a throne that is made out of swords. I mean,
Magic never really fully came into play, though. I mean, they have power, but it's not like D&D magic. You know, no one ever threw a fireball.
No, well, but, I mean, the Red God clearly has some powers.
Yeah, but that's less like wizard power and more.
No, but they do say over and over again, dragons are magic. That is a phrase that we hear a lot.
That's a good point.
Before Mark goes on, I think I like the new throne because I think it's a little bit more kind of like, I've got the throne, it's still made of swords, but then I've got this moat of swords that nobody can get in front of me nearby.
Swords. Yeah.
And all of a sudden, it's kind of like you got to get through my Kingsguard, and then you get through the swords. I mean, it's like basically having a
well, wait a minute.
Around.
It makes for great cinematography.
Aren't those swords technically Valyrian steel when
No.
the
They're just the swords.
They're just all the lords in the realm.
They're
not special because
they're
looks like
everyone who died during.
They're swords of the conquered people when they conquered.
Yeah, I don't believe there's any
I remember that. I was worried some of them were super special.
Okay, finish us
all
up
right,
real quick.
I have the one last thing I want to talk about for this episode. The most gruesome death scene of the episode, which was the Queen herself. I did read an article about the director and the creators. Apparently previewed that episode for many, many women to get their opinion on if it was too violent or not. And actually what a lot of the women said was it could be even more violent. I think it wasn't until I rewatched it the second time to realize that how much in... Sorry, I'm going to drink because I'm getting political. In today's world, in this country, with women's reproduction freedoms, is that when she was giving birth, they did not tell her what was going on. They did not give her a choice on what was going to happen. They literally held her down and cut that child out of her.
Not just that, she was already doped up.
Okay. One last fact, I skipped a page because we're out of time, but Lord Rickon Stark, we did get
we got 5 seconds of him.
He is the great grandfather of Ned Stark, okay? And then my topic of discussion, this was kind of for Thomas, because I follow Tommy of Big Brother on TikTok, and his question was, he expected the show to look a lot different. There's roughly 200 years between this show and Game of Thrones, because it's 173 years before Dany is born, but then probably 16 years before Game of Thrones show. So, and his big complaint was if it's 2020, if you go back 170 years, look how much has changed. And so what I thought about it, so you really need to compare, and then Mark and I both commented how Rhaenyra looked like Anne Boleyn at the end of the episode with her
I wasn't
talk.
thrilled with that choice.
And I thought, well, let's compare Anne Boleyn, which was 1536, to 1726. That's because they don't have an industrial revolution.
Yeah.
So I think if people are expecting huge differences, I also kind of feel like maybe the show might have taken it easy on the differences, so not to shock us too much. And hopefully we'll see more differences, because even before
We're
the industrial,
definitely getting a
even before
Targaryen
the
aesthetic.
Industrial Revolution, ladies' fashion changed a lot. Men's fashion changed very slowly, but women's fashion changed.
Sorry,
a
really
lot.
quickly, I do want to say hi to Josh UFO, Zul Rashidi, who's trying, I guess, maybe to spoil us, but I don't know.
Don't.
And then, hi, Ryder.
You're not going to
thank
spoil
you.
me, man. I know what happens.
And Logan LeBlanc says Rhaenyra is his favorite new Targaryen, and he really likes the
She is
Targaryen
awesome.
King's Landing. So thank you for joining us. We know you're about to go in and watch the episode. So we will be here every week to discuss further on these things at the same time before the episode airs. So even if we didn't get through everything, we'll get through it next time. Any last minute things before we close it out, so everybody has a minute to pee before the show starts?
I want to
gonna
see
say-
more dragons.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, you brought up an excellent point as far as like the differences and things. Like 200 years during the Dark Ages, what really changed? Combat was probably the thing that changed the most.
Yeah,
and
I'm
the-
ready to see some
also-
dragon battles.
I'm ready for
A
them to open up the
Baratheon
world.
did name the queen who never was.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
And I do want to see them open. Like we've seen King's Landing, we've seen what's happening there. I'm ready to go other places.
And I
wanna
can't
see
wait
the
to
wall.
see what's up with Sir Christian.
We're not going to the wall.
Sir Christian Cole, because he's clearly.
Yeah, he's clearly important.
He's clearly important.
One last slightly interesting thing: a Baratheon hesitated on naming Rhaenyra.
Right.
Yeah.
No. He
I mean,
boldly said, "I want the favor of the
And
queen
she,
who
well,
never was."
she is a Baratheon.
Oh no! I'm talking at the very end when everybody's like swearing allegiance to.
No.
He hesitated
There was
to.
a
yeah.
Baratheon who
bending the knee
hesitated.
to her.
So-
That's because
That's it.
she is a Baratheon. The queen that never was is a Baratheon.
Yep.
Okay, take us out, Andrew.
We are not your drunk watch.
And
And
now
now
our talk is ended.
See
Go
you
enjoy
in
the
an
show.
hour. Enjoy the show.
Yeah. Well, because despite Robert Baratheon freaking hating Targaryens, the Baratheons and the Targaryens were allies for centuries.